Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. It was the WB frog. He's like, "Hello, my baby."
Oh my god!
Yeah, the top hat and the cane and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Amy. It sounds like Amy just ripped like a mile-long line of cocaine right on her way to the microphone.
I did not. I'm just doing my regular amounts of cocaine, not giant lines. Welcome to Night of the Living podcast. My name's Amy. I am joined by Andy.
Hey.
Freddy.
Hello. Why did I do that?
I don't know.
It's like a kind of social anxiety where you have to do like you can't just be like hello, yes, hi.
Everybody thinks they need a catchphrase.
Yeah.
And be wacky.
How did he do da you?
So today on the show, we are going to close out our March Gladness theme with a real humdinger of a film called X-Ray, a.k.a. Hospital Massacre.
Did you ever get her name?
No.
I'll find it.
Okay. It's a great little trash heap of a movie that makes me laugh and feel so good. But we'll talk about that later.
It just shows how different people are.
I know. People are different.
and it's interesting what brings joy to people.
I will tell you, Andy, my brain is not up for any challenges.
Yes, I know that. But
no, I mean, like, do you see what I'm reduced to having fun with?
I really worry for your mental health at this point.
Oh man, but still.
Okay, we'll get it. I don't want to put the cart before the horse.
Okay.
The cart would just be left behind.
I know.
Lenora's Midnight Rental.
YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, she's the one who we were at the found footage festival
show. Yeah, live show, and she came out and talked about this movie, and I'm like, must see movie. And I talked about it previously, maybe a month or two ago on the show because it was the start of the Tubi game, where we just played whatever the next movie it recommended, we just let it play.
It was wonderful.
And we started with X-Ray.
You ever want to have the experience while watching television of floating down a lazy river, that equivalent? The only thing that would make it better is to just have tubing with Tubi.
Yeah.
TM, tubing with Tubi is where we outfit you on an inner tube with a little screen where you watch Tubi's recommendations and you go down a lazy river and you stay as long as you want. Or until the meat from your butt starts sloughing off the bone.
But unfortunately, the water is disgusting.
Because of all the butt meat.
Yeah, it's a real shit and
I was
piss
going to say because
festival.
of all the bad movies.
Yeah, the bad movies. It's a real shit and piss festival. Yeah. Hey, you going to Piss Fest?
Shit Piss Fest 2024.
And every now and then, like, somebody would tap you on the shoulder and, like, advertise something to you.
Hey, guys, real quick, have you thought about being a nurse?
Me. I know you look real relaxed there, but...
have you thought about online school?
What's your insurance?
That would suck.
And then they go, it's cool.
It.
Okay, bye. Yeah. But they're real nice about it.
What if we did it adorably, though, where we had a little animatronic bird fly in and do it instead? It's like, well, I'm sorry to interrupt your... Oh my, prison exploitation film. But my name is Chippery, and I'm here to tell y'all about progressive insurance.
But it'll be like 2 or 3 birds in succession coming up to you.
Yeah, they're in line. Yeah. And then they realize all the ad agencies that program these animatronic birds are like, holy fuck, all 3 of us did animatronic birds?
Freddy, what?
Because 3 different agencies were working on the ads for the different advertisers that are interrupting your Tuesday on Tubi event. You see? And they all went with animatronic birds. Nobody did a sad old man drinking lemonade on a porch. You work in this field, Amy. This should be clear to you.
I don't work on the creative side.
Mm-hmm.
We are not paid by Tubi in any way.
No.
We just like it a lot.
Whatever they're
like
doing
joy.
over there is so good.
I like their, they kind of rebranded with their logo, haven't they?
They did. They changed it.
Oh, what
it's
is
all
it?
pretty. I swear to God, none of
Yeah.
us work for or with. I don't know anybody.
We're just
at Tubi.
fans.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah, it's more
fans.
of
But
like,
call me Tubi. We can work
Yeah.
on some stuff here.
Yeah, why not?
It's like a 70s type font they're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nostalgia.
Groovy.
They say it can be dangerous, but Tubi's just the right amount.
How can nostalgia be dangerous?
It has to do with not dealing with reality.
Oh, yeah, well.
That's where it becomes dangerous. It's when, I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum in this difficult world we live in.
But nostalgia, when it's time to escape, nostalgia works really well because
Yeah.
you just can slip it on like an old shoe.
It's wonderful.
You don't need to untie or tie or anything. It just slips on and off so easy.
I had so many moments this weekend at Horror Hound Weekend of nostalgia. Intense. Really intense. Personal and pop culture nostalgia because friends I hadn't seen in almost a decade probably. I got to see him for like 15 minutes. And I saw Matt Hoffman for like 2 minutes.
So, Gal, give us your Horror Hound Weekend book report, you guys.
Andy, you had a lot more. Andy got to do a lot more than I did.
Yeah, unfortunately, Amy had COVID and was protecting herself and others.
Yeah.
My mom.
And Freddy's busy with stuff too. And
I'm a pussy and I'm scared of crowds right now.
So I was like the lone representative for TLP, and it was fine. It was really fun. It's just a different experience, not being anchored to a table because
yeah.
It's a give and take type thing. Like you get the table, but you're man to it. But all at the same time, it's nice to have a little sanctuary from all the hubbub.
Yeah, it's funny like how different vendors see that table. No two vendors will tell you they see that table the same way. They might think sanctuary is the hall. Outer perimeter of hall where the bathroom is. That might be their sanctuary. It all depends on who you're talking to. Vendors and celebrity guests. They're all just people, and they're all people who do this regularly.
Did you guys see anybody fun? Yeah. Did you party with any celebs?
No, not me. I did go to the after parties.
Yeah.
For the first time in years because.
What was that like?
It's the same faces, honestly.
Really? Bunch of 40-year-olds?
Older faces.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just us that don't go.
God, I have some serious FOMO.
Yeah, the parties kept going on. We just said nope.
You did hang out with some celebrities. You hang out with the crew of Bloody Good Horror.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. It was nice because, I was kind of worried, I'm not going to know anybody there. And I just spent most of the weekend with them, and it was really nice. Schnars, Cassie, Eric, and Rachel. She's a newer member of the podcast. And and I get to meet all their patrons that came out to see them.
That is so awesome.
It was really nice. Yeah. I felt welcomed. I hope they like me.
No, Andy, they love you.
My God.
We are like podcast family, like if in the actual family tree.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you themselves to a founding member of that show that we all came from kind of the same primordial ooze together.
We came up together.
Yeah.
It's just every now and then your social anxiety pops up. I'm like, oh God, I hope they're just not humoring me by letting me tag along.
Oh, that's because you're mentally ill, like everyone else that we know.
Andy, ourselves. Andy.
And I got to hang out with Cassie, sweet Cassie. Oh, Cassie! And our friends, Tree and her beautiful family. And and Michael Neal, that was great to see.
Yeah, Jess, Dwyer, and Hanneman. And Nathan.
Oh, stop it. I want to kill myself.
I looked for Aaron, but I could not catch Aaron, so he and I just got... But we're in town. We'll find each other.
Yeah, and just a lot of people in passing. It's that thing of horror around, a lot of people are just busy, and you're like, oh, hey! And so you have to give perfunctory hugs and kisses.
Got some awesome art from Hamilton and Rob Meyer.
Yeah.
brought that shit home. I brought it home to live here because I liked it so much. And Amy got some new puzzles. I got her some good puzzles from One Man Riot. Made one.
I already had the Return of the Living Dead puzzle. Now I have the Freddy Krueger. And then like a collage of creepy characters.
I think also
so into it.
Floated an air biscuit, so to speak.
What a lovely name for an awful thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Horror Hound.
Yeah, I had a really good time. I felt guilty because I know you guys couldn't.
Oh, you shouldn't feel
enjoy it
good.
as much.
How dare you?
Andy, I wanted you to have the time of your life.
Wow.
I did, actually. It was really, really fun.
Good. Yeah. You deserve that.
And I have to shout out to the new Sharonville Convention Center.
Oh, is it nice?
Give props to a building, but it's a nice new building.
Yeah.
Is there enough parking now?
No.
Fuck
it's
that.
less parking.
Yeah.
But I found parking both.
You found parking,
all 3
guys.
days. Yes.
Wink.
Found
Wink.
parking. I had a weird ass parking space on Sunday.
Yeah.
It was like I would look like Murder Alley, but it was fine.
Everybody's still
I'm
alive.
fine. It was a good parking space. No trouble. Yeah.
So good. Thank you for your book report.
Yeah, and thank
Give
you,
you an A+.
Horror for having us, as always.
Yeah.
They've always been so really good to us.
Oh, great panels. Did you mention the panels?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah, the Reanimator panel, which I
That
loved
was really-
so much.
Yeah.
I need to get Stuart Gordon's memoir. I found it on Amazon, and apparently that's the best place to get it. I talked to our buddy John Kitley at Kitley's Crypt, and he's like, that's a hard one to find in the wild, apparently.
I have to say, there's something in that Reanimator juice because the whole cast still looks wonderful.
Yeah.
Barbara Crampton, I swear to God.
Not just her. Bruce Abbott looks fantastic. Jeffrey Combs.
And Jeffrey Combs,
Yeah.
he's an adorable little man.
You got to keep in mind that Jeffrey Combs, I mean, is he in his 70s now?
Has to be.
Because he was like
I don't
20.
know.
He was real young when they made Reanimator.
I know, like, Crampton, Barbie Cramps,
Barbie Cramps.
is 65. I had to look that up. Like, wait a minute.
I just want to punch her square in the face.
Well, in that case, no, then Jeffrey Combs is probably about the same age. I think they were all about the same age, that cast. They were so
But
good.
man,
I got home,
beautiful
I had
cast.
to watch the movie again, Andy.
Yeah.
And Amy hadn't seen it in a long time. And actually,
and I fell asleep at the end, but I want to go back
you
and
should
finish it
finish
again.
it up. Yeah, it's such a good movie.
And we caught the tail end of the Hatchet panel.
Yeah.
With Kane Hodder, Adam Green, and Joel David Moore. You know the Avatar guy now?
The Avatar guy.
That's his big thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's time for me to revisit those movies when Freddy was telling me about that when he came home. And I was like, I did not care for any of them.
They're really basic movies.
And I wonder if it's time to go back.
They're showcase pieces for special effects artists.
Right.
It's not really about, like, it's the framework is we're going to have a gory good time, and they're not going to really put anything more into it than that. You know what I mean?
Then maybe I just need to try again.
Yeah.
Get super stoned.
Yeah. They're trying, it's almost like
again.
All the Hatchet movies feel like the fake movie that's in a real movie. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. They all feel like they're just shallow enough that they're not really a movie. They're just a placeholder for what a movie is.
Okay. I don't know if that's more or
It's not
less
an
insulting than I didn't like the movie itself.
It's about density. It's really about the density of it. Like it's very shallow. It's very much about getting to that gory kill. But if you like that, if you like movies where it's just joke after joke, it's like the horror
depends.
equivalent.
It's about your mood.
Yeah. It's fun.
But the first time I ever saw a Hatchet movie was
in a
at
crowd.
Horror Hound.
That was fun.
Yeah, but I still didn't like it.
Then you probably will not like them
I think
ever.
I'm just dead inside.
Well, maybe your tastes have changed since then. I know mine have. So
I still don't have full taste back.
From the COVID.
So I should try it now and just see what happens.
Apparently, you're supposed to eat a burnt orange.
Ew.
Really? Like how do you burn the whole fucking orange?
It's coming
Something
back
like
a little
that.
bit.
What's coming back?
I smell. I taste.
I thought you meant
smell.
burning oranges, like the trend.
Oh, it's so in, Freddy.
You guys aren't burning your oranges?
You didn't see it on TikTok?
Oh, we can't do that. It's about to be banned, so burn your oranges while you can.
Jiminy Christmas. Oh, and now the woke mobs are burning their oranges.
I like my oranges wet. Like a man's.
Oh, wet man. Okay, and on Saturday I went to the Talking Wrestling panel.
Oh,
with,
yeah?
With Mick Foley and Paul Walter Hauser.
Wow.
They were adorable people.
Mick Foley, I love that man.
He is so nice. And me and Cassie went to the kids costume contest.
How was that? You get pictures of that one?
As cute as you can believe.
Just simply adorable.
It is, seriously. You see these kids struggling with their costume.
Yeah. Well, what was the winner? What did they dress up as?
It was a xenomorph. Sweet. And the tiniest Jason you ever seen.
Aww.
Isn't it funny? We always talk about these little kids dressed up like these horrific killers and stuff. But like you would even bat an eye either if they're like, I'm the middle of a human centipede. And you'd be like, yeah, you are. You did good.
That might draw a line for me. I'm sorry.
But it always is all very much on the line. Everything that happens in a child's costume contest at a horror convention is right on the line. It's right there.
Nope.
It's doing a high wire act.
I can't sign on for that. The opinions of Freddie Morris do not reflect me.
Well, yeah. The thing that always
podcast,
except for Jack Skellington, fine.
The thing that always gets me is gosh. Now I've forgotten and the little Georgies from It, because I'm like, your kid is dressed as a kid that got killed.
Your kid with no fucking arm.
Yeah.
Or your kid's dressed like Freddy Krueger, a kid who touched kids, got burned up.
Kids touching kids? Yeah. That's awful. Well, that's, I guess, is less awful.
Yeah.
There's degrees of awful.
Your kid's dressed like Jason, a differently abled boy who drowned. Because of sex happening?
Well, that fits because Jason doesn't know how to express his rage, just like children.
Yeah,
so it's true.
So they fit the character.
How many Mithrigans were there? Are those still happening?
I mean, so far just the one. I don't know about it.
I only saw one, and it was adult that had a creepily realistic mask on.
I saw like a tween Mithrigan.
When?
At a horror hound.
You're not talking about this. Oh, I meant this specific horror hound.
Oh,
yeah, because I
at
actually,
a previous horror hound.
I'm thinking of like the arc of, you get when a character like Mithrigan becomes huge, and then you see 20 of them, and then the next show I didn't see any of this show.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Like how on the pulse
they need to hurry up on that franchise and get more out.
Well, I love the cosplay community that comes to Horror Hunt because they are always on trend perfectly. And it's hilarious because there's always a big group of whoever is the one who's on trend. And I'm like, that's just, I love to watch them come through in a wash. It's kind of like, but it was on purpose when the nun people did it. But that was really cool, where they all were dressed as that character. Very neat. Very.
Does that count when it's marketing, though?
Very neat.
No.
Okay. Anyway, and the last, and me and Freddy got to see the Dead Meat panel with James and Chelsea. That was awesome.
And I didn't know they're a couple who produce horror content on the internet. So
sound familiar?
They're like you guys.
Didn't it feel familiar, Andy? Like they were.
Yeah.
It felt to me like watching the next generation come in.
Yeah.
And being like, wow, they are doing some really clever stuff. They're doing visual stuff that I personally never had the guts to do that level of commitment to putting together something like Kill Count.
I'm 44. I'm just not doing stuff like that
I'm
anymore.
so glad they're doing it. Like, because we watched that. That's perfect, like, downtime content. A Kill Count episode. Love it to death. And I'm sick of horror 90% of the time because we have to deal with so much of it that I'm very careful with what I allow in so that I can really enjoy the horror movies more, but Kill Count's one of those things is always fun to watch.
Yeah. And I was really impressed by their turnout for their panel. It was probably one of the most well-attended panels I've seen. And this was on a Sunday.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So good for them.
For real, though.
I just love that they're doing stuff and putting good content out there and having like such a loyal fan base.
Yeah, keeping it alive too. Like the community that is into this stuff, it's such a specific group that I love that you can go there and you can feel at home with the people who are drawn to that place for the most part. There's a few, don't expect to connect every person carrying a ferret you meet.
Keep the spirit of like VHS and like old 80s trash, and who's going to keep that alive?
It's like Super 8 now. Like, think of how many people
As a
you
child
know.
born this year,
Right.
going to give an absolute fuck about X-Ray ever. Will they ever think it's as fucking cool as I think it is?
That's a good question.
I hope so.
It's
Well,
got
they're going to
good
have
bones.
their own X-ray. We can't
CAT scan?
just because we like something doesn't mean that everybody has to,
I need the things that are cult classics now to remain that way. But
Oh,
anyway,
that's
and I'm trying to make this movie
That's
a cult classic.
Yeah, cult classics are going to, you can't predict what's going to be a cult
If you
classic.
throw away my media, you throw away me. Okay? All
That's
right?
art. It's art,
That's
man.
Are you the baby or the bathwater?
The bathwater.
Oh,
I'm a baby.
I'm a
All right.
baby bathwater.
That being said, real
Yeah.
quick,
Sure.
just mention this here, patreon.com/NOTLP. If you're interested, there's extra stuff there, merch and whatchamacallits, or it's all there. Okay? I'm not going to repeat it.
I'm going to make an
we
ad for
didn't
my
have a-
album right here, if that's okay. Can I say something there?
I'm not done yet,
When
but
you're
as
done,
soon as I'm
let
done.
me know. You just shout over here. I'll be right here.
We skipped Topicana because everybody was at Horror Hound. And,
Yes, I know. I was supposed to record content.
Oh
but,
God,
like, I
Andy! It was
I
only
just
if
too
you
busy.
wanted
I'm
to.
so sorry.
No, everything's fine. Don't you worry.
It's all good. We rehashing
But-
it's just as much fun.
We will have a Topicana up there, and again, you get it a week before it goes out on the main feed. And then Origins is coming back this week as well. I listened to episode 268. It was April Fool's Day. And back in 2012, what a fucking passel of fools we were. But I will be recapping what you need to know through 2024's eyeballs.
2024's eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
Brought to you from the makers of 2023's eyeballs.
Freddie Morris, what would you like to tell people?
I just wanted to take a moment because I am terrible at marketing. I do have an album out right now called Familiar, and you can stream it anywhere, and you can buy it anywhere you get digital music. And that just helps feed these dogs so that they can keep floating air biscuits up in the middle of our podcast,
Search Freddie Morris. That's Freddy. You try IE, your computer explodes. I don't know.
Right.
Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But Familiar is the name of the album. 4 songs. It's like, take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, sit back, relax, and enjoy some music. It's free if you have streaming music.
And really, it is just kind of free because, you're not going to ever get paid for that.
Yeah,
but like
then
one
fucking
day,
make any money.
maybe.
You'll make it. I make money on my Patreon. I have a Patreon too, but it would be very classless for me to say patreon.com/Freddy Music. Total sleazebag move. Patreon.com/Freddy Music.
You sound like
It's
somebody.
It's the best music ever. I can't do it.
I
can't do a
wasn't
Trump
I wasn't
impersonation.
trying to do a Trump. It just sleaze
came
When
out
you-
for some
naturally
reason.
comes with it. Yeah.
When you're trying to do a character that is a fucking dickbag.
Isn't that funny? It's shorthand.
Yeah.
It's become shorthand. He's such a piece of shit.
Cool.
It's funny you said shorthand because he has tiny little hands.
He has
he
little
does.
hands, yeah.
Tiny hands.
Yeah, short hands.
Short hands.
Tiny penis. That being said, I'm going to move us along if that's okay.
Uh-huh.
But I do need you to vamp for like 3 seconds.
Well, I'm a vampire. Andy, are you a vampire?
That's funny. Like I was thinking about Grace Jones the other day
Were you? In what
Vamp.
context? Breakfast?
because there was a contestant on Drag Race that referenced her costume outfit in Vamp.
Yeah.
So that's why. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I think I would have voted for that person. I'd be like, you're doing Vamp, and I appreciate that little taste of childhood. Amy pointed at me.
All right, we'll be right back.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
I can't even remember which ones these. Oh, I'm still up. Hi, how you doing, y'all?
I just moved you up.
I just started talking, jibber jabbering. I had a lot of candy before.
Okay.
I want to be straight with you people.
Freddy.
You deserve better, but I couldn't resist.
It was these sweet tart, like tropical fruit things.
Sweet tart bites.
They're sour, and you can tell sour even if you don't have full taste.
It's like a jelly bean on the outside and like a juicy sour mess in the middle. And it was so good. I ate half a bag of them. And then we also had, because this is what happened. I went to Staples and I had a credit card in my pocket. And I was going for glue sticks and a cord. But you know what I left with? Glue sticks, a cord, and candy. And the other one
That's how they get you, the impulse aisle.
Yeah. Oh, they got so much candy.
All right. This is my pick this week. It's called X-Ray from 1981, starring Barbie Benton, a Golden Globus movie, which is something I knew nothing about maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we watched, I've watched a shit ton of riff tracks since then.
Yeah. And the documentary.
And the documentary that we watched about them. What was it called?
I can't remember right now, but I can look it up for you.
That's not the name.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if that was the name of the documentary?
I'll find it for you. You just keep talking, ma'am.
But
Is that like the producing company that made these movies?
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
That's the documentary.
Yeah, these dudes were just like fucking wanted to make movies, make money, and be cool.
They were Greek,
So
right?
I guess they just sold this movie to MGM, right? Because I saw The Lion appear. I'm like, wait a minute.
I don't know.
Well, there's always several companies involved. The thing with Golden Globus was they weren't always, 100% the backers of something. A lot of these movies were paid for by like 3 companies, or you might see that tag because of a distribution deal or something, and might not even have anything to do with the making of the movie. But this is clearly Golden Globus.
This is like, yeah. It's like how when you see a full moon production, you're like, okay, I know what's that. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I know exactly what's about to happen.
Fingerprints.
You know what I mean? A24, you're like, oh, okay, all right, get ready to see a movie about grief. All right, here we go. You know what I mean?
Get ready to feel bad.
Yeah. But like, it'll be great. But like at the end, you'll be like, oh, the human condition.
Yeah.
Golden Globus, you're like, titties and fun and nonsense. So that's what you get with X-Ray, aka Hospital Massacre.
Still has some pretty scary moments for a Golden Globus horror movie.
Like, for real, I think it's a pretty decent slasher.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, Amy. I know your tastes, and I respect your tastes, and I understand certain movies that you like, but I was confused at how you
just inept.
This one, no, because like I like trash too, but
why this?
I didn't have
piece of trash?
fun with this one. You know?
I'm surprised, Andy.
Oh, see, I had a great time.
Yeah, me too. I've seen it twice now, and I liked
it was
times.
just kind of, I don't know. There wasn't so many like out there dumb moments for me, and that's the kind of trash I like. I didn't find this like dumb.
Is it because it was too sincere?
In a way, yeah. It's like it wasn't campy for me either.
Oh my God! Really?
See?
The 3 old crones?
And that was a man in a wig.
I know, like I thought it was going that direction from the beginning, but somewhere I just couldn't jump. I fell off the train.
And that's okay. You don't have to be on my train. And I understand that it's a very specific kind of
if you're
train.
not into it.
I just really thought this was just so super dumb, and I loved it for that.
Yeah, I guess we have different definitions of dumb.
Yeah. That
moment, in the opening, they're kids, right?
The opening is like these 2 kids playing with a train. It's around Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day.
Is Valentine's Day everywhere in the scene. And then that carries over to when you go to the present day. But
before you get to the present day, there's several moments where they build suspense.
Yes.
For nothing.
This fucking movie does this over and over and over again, and after a bit, I respect it.
It tried to build too much suspense with
constantly.
no payoff, really.
Right. Well, the little girl has a knife, this saber knife this huge knife.
Huge knife.
And they're following her in time to this score.
It's
the
like,
musical score is like building up.
It's like do
yeah.
like something like that.
And then it cuts to her just cutting a piece of cake. But she comes in
No,
at it like
seriously.
she's attacking it.
You don't realize, like Freddy said, a saber, like a really long knife. We have to say how long. It's literally like half the length of her body.
Stupid long.
Yeah, it was a huge knife. Huge.
And essentially, this little girl and this little boy were playing, and then this other little boy like came and left a Valentine for the little girl.
Smells
and
like
they
also
laughed.
left a Valentine for us.
My bloody Valentine. But they made fun of him. They're like, Harold, gross. And so guess what? Harold grows up and kills people. So spoiler alert, but who cares? Because you know it right away.
He's the first incel, basically. Like, you don't. How dare you not return my affections?
I love this.
I'm going to kill you.
He
kill somebody.
Works in the hospital, right? Or does he even work there?
Doesn't matter. He's Phantom of the Opera-ing there.
He is Phantoming of the Opera-ing.
So here's what is really happening in this movie, and this just occurred to me, is that he finds out that somehow she's getting a physical done at this hospital on this day. Or she's getting her results from
Google
the
alert.
Yeah, there's just so many leaps.
This is what I love about it, though. So he somehow figures out she's going to be there that day. And he's like, I'll just go ahead, set up camp on this like abandoned floor, and anybody who comes by I'll kill until I can get to you.
It's a very scary sounding when you describe it.
It's dumb.
Was that basically his intent, just to kill her?
I think so, or to rape her. I don't know.
Yeah, his motive was a little unclear.
Yeah, and it took such a convoluted a plot to get to her. Like, you could have just, snuck into her house.
Go to her house,
maybe.
dude.
Caught her after work. Maybe she's going to her car. Any multitude of ways to get to this lady.
Lure her out to a place.
He didn't need to go to medical school and become a doctor.
I don't know if he did.
Infiltrate the hospital on the off chance.
Yeah, he's an intern. That's right. He's an intern.
He's an intern. Yeah. So he wanted to help people so he could hurt someone.
I almost feel like it was an accident that he came across her being there, but whatever. So
Ever since I became murderously obsessed with a childhood crush, I wanted to be a doctor.
So you find out in the very beginning two things. These are the only like real exposition you get. One, you get like Susan, who's grown up kid with the knife, little girl.
Yeah.
Has an ex-husband she doesn't care for and a little girl. You learn that right away because they're like doing a custody swap in the parking lot of where someone works. I don't know. And then you learn that the hospital that Susan is being dropped off at. Hey, isn't that where that madman massacred a bunch of people like last year?
Yeah. So
where a patient ran amok? And you're like, what?
This movie throws you into the deep end, and you're not ready to swim yet.
No, because they give you all of that. Somebody says that, and then she goes, "Oh,"
throws you into the movie,
and that was it.
So
are they implying that Harold,
he'd already done it?
Our spurned young man, now that he's a doctor, he had already massacred for a little bit there, and then stopped.
It was doing a test masquering. He's
that's good. I like planning.
Yeah, he measured twice and cut once.
You're right.
Well, he cut twice too. He killed people twice.
Man, now that I'm thinking about this movie is dumber than
this movie is really. It's a sequel to a movie that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
it's
like it might be.
It's like this is part 2. You get it? Like we're starting. That's what makes it different. It's part 2 with no part 1.
But I remember I looked up. Like, you look up the IMDb trivia, look it up on Wikipedia. There is no discussion of a previous movie that this is related to.
You should start a site called IMDb. Because that sounds like the way you said it. And then also you're a little stoned, so it'd be funny. Where it's just IMDb. It's stuff people think happened in movies.
Also, do people still say doobie?
Doobie? I love Doobie. Doobie is so gentle. The Doobie brothers. Doobie.
Okay. So Amy was saying like they built there's so much suspense building, unnecessary.
But it's like for manipulation because then it's like not even anything.
It's a joke.
It's just a creepy hospital because everybody is off-putting.
Everybody's suspicious.
Everyone's lit from below.
Everyone is doing like
seriously, everybody
like
from
big
the
eyes
reception,
and what's going on.
It's
the patients.
Yeah. To the patient.
If you watch SNL, the sketch "The Californians" is very much the same vibe. This movie,
everybody's suspicious,
and even the doctors. It just bothered me because all the doctors had such poor bedside manner.
Yeah, remember Funke was like that Indian movie where they would show the reaction shots of like knickknacks on the shelves. Even they're like, oh, there's the precious moment figurines concerned too.
An example of what Andy and I were talking about, like this manipulation. She's told to go to some floor in the hospital. She gets in the elevator and the door closes and she looks to the side and there's a man that looks like he's slumped over in the corner of the elevator and he's got like blood all over his face. And like the music's like what? And she's like everything's and then he just like opens his eyes and finishes eating his burger. And that's catching.
There's something dripping on her shoe.
Yeah, there's
at first.
And you think it's blood.
And then it pans up and he's eating what I seem to be a ketchup sandwich.
It's only ketchup.
Because it's a lot.
When I was a kid, I ate the ketchup sandwiches.
It's too much ketchup.
Disgusting.
So much that it dripped on her white pumps.
Oh my god!
But the guy was drunk, and he repeatedly keeps showing up. It's like somebody needs to put this man somewhere where he can't get alcohol.
Right.
He's a patient.
He was like, he feels like he's there for a mental reason, right?
A lot. I think this was a mental hospital.
Why is she there for a checkup, though?
We don't know what checkup she's there for.
For a mental checkup?
She does say physical.
Her reaction to the ketchup dripping on her shoe started my dislike of her because
she's awful.
She is such a wishy-washy character. She just lets things happen to her.
Yeah.
She does.
She
basically gets institutionalized there.
Yeah. But she does kick somebody's ass pretty good in this movie, too.
But she just says, fine, to everything.
The doctor's like, I need to do this physical again, so can I have your titties, please? And she's like, all right, fine.
And everybody tries to gaslight her, basically. And
nobody will tell her anything.
It's her own fault because she just lets these things happen to her.
It's a deeply exploited, it's bad for women.
Maybe, Freddy, if somebody dripped ketchup on your shoe, would you say something to them?
Me? Well, my new shoes, I'd be like, man.
Exactly.
Look what you did!
Maybe she was realized this guy has some mental health issues and let it slide, but she just let it happen regardless.
Yeah, and I'd grab that guy's collar and I'd be like, look what you did! These were Brooks beasts. Yeah. I worked for a year to buy them.
She, her whole life is just black because if you think about it, she's dropped off by her doofus ass boyfriend. Yeah. Who then proceeds to just fall asleep and leave her in danger for hours.
Yeah, what a prick, loser. Man.
But he does get his head cut off.
Yeah, he pays the ultimate price.
He pays the ultimate price.
Okay, the boy. This was part of my confusion of the movie because I got him, her ex-husband, and one of the doctors mixed up.
They all had the same hair.
Yeah, they all had curly hair. Alike. It was curly, right?
It was just dark.
Well, see how my memory's going.
The 80s.
Going.
One of these guys needed a mustache to differentiate themselves from the hundreds of blonde, brown-haired guys in this movie.
I remember them all having
curly.
Brillo pad hair.
Boyfriend was curly, but husband and Brillo. Dr. Molestation.
Dr. Molestation.
He did not have curly hair.
That guy. Man, it was a weird movie. It reminded me of, did you ever watch The Kingdom that, was it Lars von Trier? Who was it that did that? Where the Kingdom Hospital? And then, and then Stephen King.
Well, he did the original.
The original is the one I'm thinking of. That's what this movie, X-Ray, reminds me a lot of. If you've never seen it, Amy, I think you actually probably would love it. It's like a mini series of this.
I don't know. I think I liked it for different reasons. But anyway, go on, Andy.
Okay. No, my problem was there was everybody's a red herring. There's suspense everywhere. It was like that.
Yeah.
It was like that scene from Scary Movie where the girl goes to the garage to get the beers.
Yeah.
Remember? And the cat jumps out. It's like, oh, kitty, it's just you.
Basically.
And then a horse jumps out and knocks over something. It's like, oh, horsey, it's just you. Just think of that little bit of Scary Movie drawn out to 90 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. But if you also might be like me and Amy, where we love that shit.
I mean, give the evil nurses, Honey and Kitty or something were their names.
Yeah,
Come on.
they were great. It felt like WWE wrestlers.
The hedge ladies.
Yeah. Everyone felt like they were about to go into the ring on WrestleMania. As soon as they were done introducing a character in this, you were like, any minute now, they're going out to the ring. You know it.
Oh, I think that was maybe one of the good things about the movie, because you never knew who was going to be next, because everybody is considered a suspect.
The janitor gets his face acided off, right?
Oh my God. And was that just supposed to be like film fluid for developing x-rays?
It could have been any.
Is that
He
why the
could have
movie's called
found
X-ray?
acid and poured it into a tub. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems awful convenient.
Anyway, his face is all bubbling, and the fucking
Grody.
soundtrack is doing this.
Oh, like the Omen. Yeah,
No, that didn't fit. That
not
part didn't
fit
fit the movie,
at
because
all.
it felt like it was more from like an Omen or Exorcist
Yeah.
type movie.
It felt churchy. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
It's like anytime a score feels churchy, you better be making a churchy movie.
See, I thought we all understood, like, it was fun, like with The Room. That's kind of how I approach this movie.
Not the
I love
score, though,
the
right?
dumb shit that they do, because you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, so you're feeling like you like that the score doesn't match
I
the
like
movie.
the ineptitude, because you're like, what were they thinking? Oh, they weren't. They were just slapping this shit together.
See,
it's just kind of fun.
I like the movie a lot, but the score, if it had had an appropriate score, I would have liked it more.
It probably would have improved the movie a lot.
Yeah, like something electronic or like something kind of industrial sounding would have been interesting. That would have changed the perception of the movie completely too.
Well, my reasoning was why they had that, maybe because a lot of hospitals are religious, have a religious affiliation.
Yeah,
So maybe that was it.
it worked in Exorcist 3.
Yes.
But they have a lot more religious imagery around
Yeah.
it, and it's about religion, and
Yeah.
it,
But we don't even know what this guy's motives are.
Yeah.
he's just mad.
Saint Valentine is a religious figure.
When they were kids, she rejected him.
Yeah, she cut the cake with a big knife,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't even right proportionally for the number of guests.
So the thing
That's
that
why
we
he
have to
killed
talk
her.
about is the whole reason she's there is to get results. Because she got a promotion at work, and she had to get her physical results to take to the HR person
Doesn't
for
it make
insurance.
you feel like none of that was true? Like she doesn't even have a job. That was the scam went this deep. He's behind everything. He even hired her just to get her there.
But she needed to get these results right away,
Yeah.
because the Herald kills her doctor right away.
Yeah.
And she gets passed off from doctor to doctor for hours on end.
Nobody will say anything.
What if it's
Normally
Cosmo
a
Kramer
person-
behind it all at the
Yeah.
end? That would have been really a great twist.
Like a normal person would say, oh, my doctor's not here, I'll come back another day or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Instead of being letting herself
Let me tie you
being
down to
subjected
this.
to
And-
invasive procedures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, for what is 2 hours, gets the runaround from everybody
Yeah.
who look at her x-rays, go, oh.
You know what though? I've been that person in the hospital
And
before.
then she ends up in the psych ward for
You know,
whatever reason.
I've been
Because
that
of what
person.
they saw. Well, so have I.
What was in those results?
But
That's
what
I was
was,
wondering.
they kept looking at the
Nugget.
x-ray.
They kept finding layers of nougat, and they were like, "But she's not a candy bar at all."
If there are any doctors that ever watch this movie that are listening, please write us,
Yeah.
crew@notlp.com. Because I need to know what they saw on that fucking x-ray. I'll tell you right
I
now,
mean-
I think the lungs didn't look good.
Yeah.
The intestines
was
looked like hoses.
It looked like they were filled with stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like old license
Like
plates.
those weird,
Yeah.
like expandable hoses that, like the fabric
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, I bought
That's what it looked like.
I got a new garden hose for the first time in 20
Oh,
years.
Freddie, you're so
Oh,
cool.
congratulations.
Thank you. But you know when I hear this shit? I bought a heavy duty garden hose. I got it home. It's one of those ones that retracts. So it's supposed to save space because I got like 100 foot of it. Anywho, I unboxed it and I put it on my new spool where you can put it away. And I'm reading the package and it says brings hose inside during inclement weather in winter and summer. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening now?
It's like that thing. Hey, if you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside.
The garden hose. I've never had to bring a hose inside. Never in my whole life.
You leave your hose outside? Oh my god.
I know, I'm a monster. I leave my hose outside all 4 seasons.
You're a bad pimp.
But her Barbie Benton's intestines look just like my hose that has to be dealt with like a princess.
No, it doesn't. If it can't handle the fucking summer or winter, it's going to get thrown away.
There's going to be a letter written to the hose manufacturer.
Sternly worded that says outdoor things should be made to stay outdoors.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ding dongs. We have a little house.
Couple of fun quotes. Don't you worry, baby. Which is what the doctor said to her.
Yeah, the doctor.
And she was just so like,
not her regular doctor even. If my regular doctor called me baby, it'd be
don't
alarming.
you worry, baby. And she did not bat an eye. She did not a hair was disturbed. Can we talk about her hair?
She didn't Barbie bat an eye?
She's not Barbie bat an eye.
These are different times, Amy. You can smoke in hospitals at this point.
We smoke in the room.
Her hair.
Yeah, which she does many times.
Barbie Benton's hair is gorgeous.
It's some of the most beautiful hair I've seen outside of my friend Tim Borrego's head. And our friend Lewis Fowler has had some beautiful... These are men who have had just like Samson from the Bible levels of beautiful hair. Yeah. And Barbie Benton brings something to this.
Barbie Benton.
That fucking head.
Barbie Benton Bings.
Barbie Benton Bings.
What a gorgeous head.
It's like shampoo commercial hair.
It really is. And I don't think it was a wig. No, that's, I think, all hers. But, I could be wrong.
Remember when hair used to be a thing? People don't give a fuck about celebrities' hair anymore. They're like, it's green today. It's broken now, falling off tomorrow. And they're like, still hot. Bringing new fashions of broken head hairs.
What an interesting sentence. Remember when hair was a thing?
It used to be like a big deal what kind of hairstyle a celebrity would create a trend or whatever. It just doesn't feel like that's happening anymore, which I love. I love that it's gone. I thought that was unhealthy.
Yeah, when everybody was getting those K+8 haircuts.
K+8 or the Rachel or...
Billie Eilish did a thing.
She did start a little bit of a trend with the green hair.
And unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes started a thing with the broccoli heads.
Broccoli heads.
Oh, he
damn
did.
Broccoli
so it's
heads.
coming back.
Fuck your broccoli heads.
That's sad.
Your children look stupid. Do something about that. Shave their heads in the night.
Broccoli head. That's cute. It's cute to look like a vegetable.
Another quote. Observation. What does that mean? It means she's under observation.
That was funny.
Another good one.
And
that was one of the evil nurses.
Yeah, that was that line was for real, man.
But I think it was the boyfriend who I called a stone cold loser in my notes here.
Yeah, he sucked pretty hard.
I mean, he leaves her. Well, first of all, they get to the hospital in the very beginning. And he's like, and how long is this going to take, basically? Like, is this going to take long?
Yeah. Can't you just put her up on blocks for, like, just overnight? I'll get her in the morning.
And then he falls asleep for 2 hours while she's being tortured.
Yeah.
And then when he does get in there, he lets her get dragged away.
Yeah.
But then he gets his head cut off. So, like,
he's
whatever.
like, but that's a lot of work. Trying to save my girlfriend?
It's
not
so
on a
fun to me,
Tuesday, thank you.
Before boyfriend gets his head cut off, he hears whispers drawing him into a room to be killed. Do you remember this scene, Andy? Did it remind you of anything?
That time we whispered you into a room
because
you?
all you see is him walking into the room. You don't see the room or who's talking. All you hear is, "Come in here a little closer," or something like that. I'm
a little bit closer.
Yeah, does it
kind of man?
Does it ring a bell? So tell me what it's supposed to remind me of.
The scene from Clue.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Where Yvette is killed. I think it's Yvette.
Oh, like the
where she's whispering and like the voice. It's the same kind of
a noose thrown over her head.
Is it possible that's a trope that we're unaware of?
I don't know.
It might be.
It's just something that in that
the
moment.
whisper in the dark sounds like a familiar trope, doesn't it? Kind of, or like the road ghost. She was dead the whole time. It's the same. They're like whisper you into the darkness. Come here. Remember that's how she lured the kitty cat and reanimated her. Barbara Crampton. She went.
That's the universal cat calling sound.
Does that work? I wonder.
So when Susan, Barbie Benton, our main, our glorious head of hair, she is running from Harold because at this point he's like trying to murder her.
No one figured out that Harry was Harold, and that was the big reveal. That was like Kaiser Soze level
Harry
reveal.
the intern was Harold.
Harold is Harry.
And she's running, and she runs into this room with a bunch of patients that are all like in a like big body casts and wrapped up like traction.
Yeah, I love that scene.
But they're all like freaking out and like moving.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that?
She comes in writhing, like music video style, white chick writhing, screaming, turns to the camera in a perfectly symmetrical pose. She's right down the middle of the screen. And then the other 2/3 are on the left. There's a guy who's maybe an amputee and in traction, and then a different style of amputee and a different kind of traction on the right, and her in the middle. It was a great composition.
I have to say, there were some really good shots. It was decently directed.
Yeah.
Like remember that scene with he has a sheet and going down the hallway.
That's we use that for the show art, Andy.
That's really good.
Yeah.
When he's marching down the hall with a white sheet covering, and then the dying nurse he kills the nurse, and she's covered in the sheet.
Speaking of
stumbling down the wall,
Exorcist 3 might have borrowed a little bit from this movie because it's very similar in that moment.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
But those are the good things about this movie. To me, everything else was just kind of exhausting and kind of just really heavy because everybody was just so mean. Everybody's just so mean to her.
It felt like John Waters mean, though, to me. They all felt like John Waters kind of characters. Like they were sleaze bags.
Speaking of sleaze, the nudie scene.
Yeah, it was real uncomfortable.
There was nothing. I have nothing against tits and ass. I love tits and ass, but I felt this was very unearned and didn't fit the movie. You know,
right? No, you're not wrong. I'm not gonna like try to like. No, it's a gross scene. It's a gross simulated sex scene. You're just using
the scene went on
a needle instead of a penis.
It went on for a little bit too long.
Way too long. Yeah. And you're just like, staring at her fucking nipple for like 3 minutes. That's too much, guys. It was probably like
3-minute nipple.
Seconds,
that's absurd.
Yeah.
I can get you a 2-minute nipple.
I knew a man, 1-minute nipple. I think he's dead now, though.
No, of course he's dead.
No, 3-minute nipples. That's when you want like the soft yolks. You got to boil them. You got to boil them longer for harder yolks.
Eggs,
15 minutes. I'm a 15-minute nipple.
Whoever thought of eggs? Chickens, that's who. Thanks, chickens. This one's for you.
Thank you, chickens, for the eggs.
Thanks for all the eggs.
Yeah, we don't thank chickens enough.
So in your worldview, the chickens created themselves?
Man, let's not be stupid about it.
Okay.
Let's just say thank you to the chickens.
All right, so in the end, she douses him in a very helpfully labeled bucket full of flammable liquid, lights his ass on fire, and then a dummy goes over the roof and falls to the ground.
It's satisfying, though.
It just goes thump.
It's a thump.
But they did it, though. They threw that fucking dummy off.
They didn't milk it for anything. They didn't slow-mo it or anything.
The scene.
It's just like thump. Which I really appreciate. That's a nice, when you see so much fucking slow-mo fallen villains in slow-mo, good lord.
Good lord.
None of them fall regular speed ever?
I thought that was a fun campy scene because normally if a person on fire falls off a building, they're kind of like thrashing. And
crying. This was not.
This guy literally just went straight down like an arrow.
He gave up quick. He was like, well, I'm on fire. I might as well burn.
Excuse me, my throat is dry.
So in a way, this movie is a pro-smoking movie because it needs you to have a lighter on you at all times, just in case something happens.
There are ashtrays in the hallway of this hospital,
and they really did enjoy the hell out of some cigarettes in this movie.
crazy.
They loved them. They were alive with flavor.
Well, Andy, I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it. But you didn't. I don't need you to. I know exactly all the flaws. I just see them differently.
I enjoyed parts of it.
Yeah. If anybody out there, is like me, you're gonna have a good ass time and just let it play. Let it ride after it's done. Just see what happens.
Yeah. I would also recommend a movie that we got randomly that I'd heard some good things about before, but just never bothered with is Edge of the Axe.
We started it. I didn't finish it. I kind of see why it's not a slasher that is celebrated. Because at first I'm like, why aren't more people talking about this? This is great. And I'm like, this is going on too long with this thing that isn't any part of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or the horror, We
were kind of half watching it, I think, too.
Anyway, Edge of the Axe.
But I will tell you.
That's a great endorsement. We were half watching it, but it was good.
It's like when you find that Rain channel that's just right.
Yeah.
It's like that, but a slasher movie where it's like, it feels like Friday the 13th, but it's fresh, a little fresher.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite.
Yeah, it was close. It's the closest thing I've ever seen.
When was it from? Like 88?
88. It was the closest thing I've ever seen to feel like a Friday the 13th movie that wasn't part of the franchise, As much as we've seen. I
feel like a franchise. So, thank you for traveling with us down the March Gladness path. I hope you
That sounds pagan.
visited some of your movie hugs in your life. I hope we inspired you to do that.
Yeah, man.
Hug your movie hug. Tell your movie hug you appreciate it.
I hugged my zebra grass yesterday. Remember?
You did hug your dead zebra grass.
My dead gay zebra grass. We had to tie it up and trim it out.
You did hug it.
I hugged it along.
You told it. I have pictures.
It was fun.
Because it was weird.
You ever hug a plant? I mean, a tree with a big round trunk is the best. But there's a reason they called those hippies tree huggers, because somebody got busted hugging a tree, and it's wonderful.
All right, everybody. Anything else before we wrap this up?
No, I can't wait to eat food. Real excited about that and whatever we're doing next month.
Next month, we're doing round 2 of movies starring housewives.
Whoa.
You know what? If Amy's going to be in charge.
What did we do the first time? Was it probably...
But this was Andy's idea.
Was it probably the Watch in the Woods the first time?
No.
Yeah, I forgot that we did it in the first place. That's why.
It was a long time ago.
Does anybody remember what movie?
We did. I think we did Alligator.
I think
we did
Alligator.
The Lindsay Lohan movie.
I know who killed me because I had Kenya Moore in it.
Oh.
Kenya Moore. Hair care.
I don't remember that one at all. I remember Alligator.
Something else.
Because that movie was fun.
And I don't remember. But we're gonna work on the list, and we're gonna work on the punny title, and we're gonna have it all for you on April Fool's Day.
All for you. Is that Janet Jackson?
Ain't no lie, baby. Bye.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
It is Janet Jackson.
It's a good song.
Yeah. So thanks for sticking with us for our gladness. We hope we brought you some gladness too. Forgot about the patrons. I'm sorry.
No,
I was signing off before.
No, I need you to
I
vamp.
agree.
Because I can't find my list. Where the fuck is my list?
Gladness. Just go to patreon.com and look at it there. Amy made a new list. Amy made a list, guys. Sounds like a lot of villains in history, if you ask me. There was a list. And you know what they called it? Schindler's List.
We're going to do this by memory. If I forget you, it's because I'm a piece of shit. I have been forgetting new patron, old friend, old host of the show, Matt.
Yeah.
He's now a Beelzebub.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
And he has been for like 3 episodes, but we were all
I forgot to check.
Our lives got out of control.
Because everything went kabloosh. God damn it, I had a list. So welcome, Matt. That's funny. I did not mean to do that.
You said welcome, Matt.
We got
Alyssa.
Jeremy, Cassie, Gamora, Ernie.
Oh, Amy.
Dave Siebert.
You're just gonna try to do Ellis
Monica.
off the top of your head.
Did I say Monica yet? Jordache Jeans.
We got the cereal
Blayne
guys.
Yogurt.
Blake.
You're good. Frosted Blakes.
or yes, I can't remember.
Oh my
and
God.
This is fun for everybody listening, and I'm so happy for you that you get to experience this because I'm a piece of shit.
You're no.
I think they understand if we don't name everybody.
I fucking lost my list, and now I want to kill myself.
I'm finding your list.
It's okay. We're just gonna end it here. Thank you so much for joining us. I love you. I hope March Gladness was everything you needed it to be in your life. And we're gonna hit you up some Housewives, but don't get all like, I don't like Housewives. We're not watching the show, okay? Calm down. These women have been in movies. You ever heard of Garcelle?
Movies.
Bouvet?
Movie
Okay.
stars. People who are just better than
Denise
us.
Richards? All right. Okay. All right, okay.
Movie
Candy
stars.
Burris? She wrote No Scrubs. Anyway, it's going to be fine. You're going to be okay. Don't worry about it. All right. I do highly recommend, though, that you find a housewife city that intrigues you and start it up. I'll let you know where to start because there's a lot of seasons for some of these and you don't have to watch all that shit. All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Party time.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old